I move they be approved.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Nobody opposed? Okay, thank you. Thank you for our visitor today. We're always glad to have you here. So, Hal, monthly year-to-date stats and balances?
We'll go through, in the minutes, because I don't have it on the front, down in new business, we talked about the trees. They are planted.
Okay.
And so that whole new section is full of trees. We planted a few that we lost. I guarantee you, we're gonna probably lose a few of the new ones. We have a buck that just tore off the plastics and keeps rubbing against them, so I got a feeling I'm gonna lose a few, just so you know. So I know the deer kills in, but right now, this buck comes in at night, and boy, he's just shredding some of them. But that's part of the deal we deal with, so, but those are in. So, yeah, we'll just go start an unfinished business. As you can see, number one item there is our pours. Currently, we have 28 framed, and we are pouring Monday for the last pour of the year, which looks like the total is 145. There was a small scare of shortage of concrete, just like everything else, but we're okay. They're fine, they have it. And I think what they did is they were just backing down, keeping with the normal customers and not taking on new. How I found out is a friend of mine called, he couldn't get concrete. He said they weren't doing it, so I made a call to make sure, because rumor was you had to take 10 yards. Well, I don't pour 10 yards, and that's not the case. So they're taking care of us. So this will be the last pour of the year. So we couldn't get it till 10:30 because all the big guys are pouring in the morning, but that's okay. Number two there is your water leak. We still have the issue. So mainly 80% of the cemetery has been without water most of the summer. Not a lot of complaints. Most of them understand. The last two roads had water. They could get it there or get it at the chapel and then take care of their flowers and stuff. So we are proceeding to blow out the lines, which we would do this time. As soon as the park gets done with their air compressor, they're going to let us use it and blow out. So I'm not sure when they're going to fix it. It may be next year. We have it opened up, or we'll cover it up for winter or whatnot, but leave it open. I know they've been doing a lot of work for the city right now. They've been very, very busy, the Pizzica group. So it hasn't really hurt us bad. Don't know what it'll bring after we fix it. Just so you know, like we talked about before, a lot of them aren't the best of water lines in the world. So, but we will get it fired back up next year and see what happens. Number three is the asphalt. They had started, oh my. It was Monday, Tuesday. They came and did all around the new wall in section 29. We have all the areas prepped. One you don't see in there is on Willow. I'm going to say it's probably about 80 to 100 feet. We tried to patch 3-4 years ago, cut out and patch. I think, well, it was, and we dug down some wet clay. They marked it, we cut it out, tore out all the asphalt, took it down about 18 inches, brought in concrete, crushed concrete, packed it in, and so it's ready, and they're going to come and pour that. And we're going to feather that road out a little bit. We've got some dips and problems I won't go into, but they're going to put a lot of base in and then come over the top and do part of it. Just it wouldn't have made it through the winter, so you know, too, it was all checked. But anyway, so with that and all the asphalting they're doing, I had estimated about 25 to 30,000. We're going to be right around 14 to 16 on asphalt this year, as far as that goes. And he's trying to get me done. Right now they're doing Bronson and a couple other ones. He's thinking first part of the week he'll get me in, and we'll get Willow open. We haven't had any funerals on it, so we've been doing okay there. Fourth is our storage building. The lights are in. They've been in. We put LEDs in so it could handle the cold. The material to do the first 8 feet as far as insulation and plywood so we can start loading it up with our stuff is in. It came in today, so my crew will start putting that together here shortly, hopefully. And five's there, which we can bring up at the end, or I'll open it up now if you guys have any suggestions for improvements of any kind.
Our light and installations in that building that you showed me, they're the new one, right? The newest one back there, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the new one behind.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that doesn't have a floor in it?
No, it's
Yeah.
crushed concrete. Not that
Right.
we won't someday,
Right.
Right now, we're just going this route, just it's money, it's your
Sure.
time. And so I want to get it up, kind of get it figured out. I mean, it's a matter, we'd have to pull everything out to pour.
Right,
The door is set, floor height, everything is ready. The only thing I found out today, and it's my bad, and I couldn't believe I missed it. Well, I trust the guys framing it. I wanted a 10 by 10 door. I went to put some material in, I thought, why am I having trouble? It's an 8 by 10 door. Yeah, so we missed it by 2 feet. She's a little tight. We can
Yeah,
still
yeah.
get in, but it's a cold storage and we're okay. It's not for equipment to run in and out of, so we'll be fine. So I don't know if you want to talk about suggestions or any we can at the end. I'm always open. Hope you know that. I do have a few things to talk about next year here once we get through all this stuff, but any for right now? Okay, well, then we'll move on. Big one you see in the new business leaf season. Currently, we have the box on the dump truck right now, waiting to go. We wanted to get that hook up early. We put it on, so you understand, I have 4 dump trucks. One's equipped, 2 are actually equipped for leaf boxes, but only 1 is set for the salt dog, for power and everything to hook up to do the salt dog. So we put this on the one that wasn't for the salt dog. Sometimes we use that one. And the reason is kind of this weather this year, I got a feeling leaves and snow are gonna hit each other. That's just my own feeling. I'm not a weatherman, but
Well, it'll change tomorrow. It'll change
yeah,
by the time.
and if it would be like to yesterday, I'd be excited all winter long, but that's okay, I don't know, but I wanted to prepare just in case. So this way we can get that on pretty quick. The problem is it ties up another dump truck, and if we got an 8-10 funeral one week, that kind of puts us in a little bit of a pickle, but we'll make it. Like I told you earlier, the water lines are getting prepared to blow out, we're getting ready to do that. And number 3 there, I don't know if you're aware that the city came across and they were joining to do an auction with the county. So they asked us if we had stuff to put in this auction. We did, personally, we had a few stuff. Me with my eyes always open, we took our stuff over to the police department to stage it, because I think it was Metzger that was doing it, was gonna come in that Friday. And as you know, we take care of the police department, we mow and stuff. After I got my stuff over, I had to go deal with the mower that was over there, and I looked over, and here is all these beautiful chairs. I bet 400, if not.
Wow.
Okay, and so you haven't brought up to you guys, but I was thinking of putting new chairs in the chapel, because those plastic whatever ones. Okay, and then I'll show you this. Anyway, just so happens, right at the last minute, they're remodeling the pavilion. So they decided to put all their chairs in the auction. So I got 120 chairs that at value is about $7,000, and they're at 72 of them. It's only had 50 in before. But I called Larry over at Larry and Sean, and they're like, yeah, get what you need, before Metzger got there. So we went and pulled out 120 of them and took them over, and basically saved us about $7,000. There's nothing,
Nice.
they're beautiful. But in that remodel, they're doing all new.
Yeah.
And so they decided to put them in.
That's
And
great.
he said, yeah, take what you need. So
Good.
that was
job.
kind of it looks
For
more like a
tourists?
chapel now, I
Yeah, it
think.
looks nice.
And like I say, that's 72 of them. I have 120, because that about fills it up, I mean, for what we need.
Yeah.
But so that was kind of a
So
blessing.
did you take your old ones over for the auction?
No, because he'd already been there, so
Okay.
I'll get rid of those and another one, or if, I'll check and see if somebody needs them or whatever. But remember, they were black and some were white, and these are just brown and they're cushioned, and
Right.
it's part of, this is in my plan to do later on, is do some upkeep to check on carpet, if we can clean, or if I need to redo or change it. We've repainted and stuff, but that was just kind of a last minute, hey, so we jumped over there and took them and going, so that was kind of a cool thing. Pretty much I have, but what I've done is taken a few pictures, because I know you guys are all busy. I will pass these down. This is some of the projects we have done. You'll see the new flagpoles on Legion 3. You'll also see the new flagpole in the Civil War Circle. Also, with Ken's help, he got all the flag holders fixed. I got them all painted, and I think it's looking really nice. The only differences we talked about, you can see where the flagpole is when you look at the picture. We put a bed down with limestone, and I'd like to do that all the way around on all of them, but I haven't got time. And then the last one you'll see is, I call her Big Bertha. That's the biggest tree I have in the cemetery. Beaver Dam came in. You'll see this picture where they're climbing, and to take widowmakers out, and we shaped her a little bit. Just so you know, the limbs, like, you know, you just think you're taking limbs down. These limbs we cut off, 2 of them were 18 inches in diameter.
Oh, wow.
That was a limb. It's a red oak, is what it is. But now, so she'll thrive. Once, remember where you called me about cutting trees down? This one, if they saw it, this is to preserve that tree. Because I'm guessing, and it's a guess, but talking with the Beaver Dam, the head guy there, whatever, me, and like I say, it's a guess. We're thinking 180, 200 years old. this
Yeah,
tree,
wow.
with the rings that we cut off just from the limbs and stuff. He said, this has been around, and it's healthy. That's what I wanted. This gentleman will check whys of a tree and everything for me, and can tell me if they're gonna go, if it's good, if we're gonna have problems. And he had nothing to say but good things. So I want to keep that tree because it's kind of gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, that's just the projects we've had this year.
That all looks good.
To improve it. Now, if you looked at the one on the Legion 3, that is the first step. Beaver Dam will be in next year. The quote came in, sorry, I didn't bring it. I think right at 13,000, and we're putting a wall around that, but we're putting it up like 2 block, but then on end, it's going to be 3 by 3 foot, and it's going to be 3 block for flower beds. So I can put some flowers or decorations in the end around those, just to enhance that front a little bit more. He's also got a few other things we're going to be working on. He gave me a bid, and I apologize, it's in 2 bids. Cremation 1, that was done before me. There's stepping stones and some things in there that are just, it's time to fix. So I asked him to give me a quote to go do a different stepping block and fix a couple around the trees and stuff. It's just some bad areas I can't grow grass in, and I want to make it look a little nicer. It's full, but it needs to maintain and look nice. Did you get to see those? Okay. Other than that, like I say, we're preparing for leaf season. The guys are doing great. We're getting ready for winter. We'll start putting stuff on as we go there.
That's such a dirty.
Huh? What, leaf season or winter? Both. Yeah, I would say for me, both. I'm gonna say the most enjoyable time of my job is those two. I'm not a fan of either one, because, now, so you know too, and you guys have heard it, the press have heard it, whatever, we do all work together really, really well. Dustin helps me out a lot. He knows we'll help in the winter. He has acquired, it's more of a trailer. They have the one-arm leaf thing, but now they have a trailer that comes by that'll hold 3 times as much as that one arm. And he said, and first thing he said, that he found it somewhere, yeah, it's not brand new, but he found it for a decent, well, cheap price, it's still a lot of money, but anyway, the mayor okayed it. And he thought of me, he goes, well, we can pick up quite a bit. I'm like, thank you. Because I mean, honestly, with 5 guys, you blow and stack leaves as tall as me, and then you got 1 box to pick them up.
Right.
And I mean, what they pick up in that one arm is like 5, 6 loads of us running back and forth, back and forth. It saves us a ton of time. So that's it, so you know, that's helping out. The other one is just throwing some stuff out. I still don't have a built day for my truck that I ordered in January. I might have to PO the money over and deal with it next year. I don't know. They don't have a lot of answers on what's going on right now, and it's not just them, because they said if you need to buy somewhere else, Kelly's one of the big ones. They're in the same boat as far as what they have on lots and stuff. So I think they're all suffering as far as new builds. They're not getting a lot of, I mean, we knew it'd be 2023, but they're just not accepting a lot right now. So don't know that. That's fine. We're okay. We'll make it. Because my truck is just going down in the fleet anyway, the one I have now. So we're okay there. Don't know if you watched the council meeting on the first approval of the salary ordinances. Okay. I was a little shocked, but I'm okay because they didn't tell us, but you guys will be
I
getting
was happy too.
you guys will be getting a raise.
All right.
They made that decision kind of towards the end, didn't really tell us during budget time, but you're going to go from 30 to 50 a meeting.
Oh, wow.
Is what they have proposed for you, and it went
It's
through.
been 30 for a long.
It has, well, 15 years that I've been there, probably before that. Yep. So it's part of the restructure, because the council are looking at raises, it's time to move up. Don't know if you know that they had a mid-year raise to get people where they needed to be. They want to be very competitive. I mean, it's more fire police, but it's everybody. I mean, it's skilled labor, because out there, people are looking. I mean, nobody's working type
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
They're looking for all the skilled. And police fire is tough anyway, because all that training, and they got people trying to take Warsaw's away, and a few have gone. But they looked at the overall thing. So for me, what had happened is, I have a gentleman that worked for me. He went on to something else. He worked at the street, and when he was at the street, he got his CDL. And Dustin knew he wanted to come work for me again. Well, I technically don't require a CDL in any of my jobs, but it sure is nice to have one in the big trucks because I can get stuff cheaper. So with this mid-year, they allowed me to pay for his CDL, to give him the upcharge like the street does. So two things happened there, and he knows it, that he still works for me. But one, I can send him over, call Dustin, he can get a big truck, go get me what I need at a cheaper rate. But also, if Dustin gets in a pickle and he needs a truck driver in the winter or something, he's got one. We can go back and forth. So that's in place. What was the other? So the mid-season, the 4% is still in, which is very nice for my employees. Also, no hasn't been the issue. It's been going real well. Haven't had any negativity, as we will probably be putting on one more employee next year, which I haven't.
Good.
But, yeah, it's something I wanted to do. I wanted to do 2 years ago, and that lovely word of pandemic started. And the mayor and I talked, and we thought we better hold off. He said a year, but he was concerned about this year. So I just held off 2 years. And so it's in the budget for that, which we went over that. So far, I haven't got any negative response from that. So, but other than that, I know I talk fast and I apologize, but I think that's it, unless you have some questions for me. You too? Nothing?
Nothing?
You guys are too easy. Come on. Nothing?
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a
Thank you
great
for your,
job, Al.
thank you for your work on the Civil War Circle. I kind of was bugging you a lot, but thank you.
You cost me money. That's
I
all.
know, I did cost you money, so maybe I only get $30 at the
Right.
meeting, so, no, but, no, I've had comments about the flags too. Yeah,
Have
it
you?
looks really nice, yes.
Yeah, no, and so you understand, in that circle, Ken knows, because this is a passion and I'm all about it. The old pole is still there, and there's a plaque on the bottom. The plaque will stay there. Ken's looking for something to put on top to honor, and so I'm not gonna cut down until I know exactly, or if we gotta use a little bit that to mount whatever
Yeah.
he's getting, which is behind the tree. That's why this new one came about. This new one I put in is not the caliber of the 5 you saw in Legion 3. This one it'll still wind resist. I think it's only 75, but this is a telescoping one. I can hit buttons and fold it right down if I have to. Yeah. So, and it will fly another flag. It is set up to fly another one underneath. I know the Legion was thinking, or was it you? Somebody asked me about it.
The Legion was asking
Yeah,
about it.
about flying something under there, and that's the whole idea, that's why we're here, is to honor these people that fought for us. So, all about that.
It looks great, both of them, all the trees too, but yeah, but it looks great.
And of course, my mind, I apologize, and I didn't write it down, but all this stuff's coming to me. We do have, it's gonna be a cremation columbarium, a personal one that a lady has worked on for the last 2 years. I finally got a call to pour the foundation. He thought I was gonna pour it. They have to bring in a crew. This has to be settled. He understands and he's okay with that. But the base is 4 feet by 60 inches. So, this is one you guys approved a long time. It'll have a stone face on it, it'll be solid granite in the middle, and then a stone face around it, so it's definitely a go. Also, first of next year, Dane Miller's big foundation will be poured for his big stuff. A crew out of Michigan's working on that right now. We may pour. But, sorry, forgot to throw those 2 things at you, but anything else for me, or questions?
The only other thing I was gonna mention was, I was at there were 2 men that wrote a biography about Homer Rodeheaver. And I talked to them afterwards, and they had gone out to the cemetery, you know, but one thing they said to me, they had no idea, that I was on but they said, we can't believe how well kept your cemetery is here. Both of them being from metropolitan areas, they were just overwhelmed by how well Oakwood was taken care of. And I said, well, we're pretty proud of that cemetery.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but if you go around, you know very quickly. But it was just interesting. I didn't say, in fact, I didn't even say anything to them. I just let them talk, but it was interesting listening to them.
I saw them. Leanne dealt with them. They were gracious. I mean, they were talking to Leanne about it. She got a package in the mail, which, I mean, it was Oakwood, somebody who had her name, and to think about it, they sent her a copy of that book.
Awesome,
Oh,
good, good.
Oh, wow.
So we have one on file.
Good,
Yeah, they thought,
good.
because they brought up, she mapped everything out for them
Mm.
and who they were there to visit and different, there was that and some
Yeah.
other ones and, yeah, so that's nice to know. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I always brag on my guys. I mean, they work
Yeah,
hard. I mean, it's a lot of work. I
Yeah.
mean, it is for everybody in the city and what they do, but the guys work really hard and they take ownership. Which it really isn't business, but to understand it, the way I'm dealing this for several years, you know, not that I don't take a charge, but I'm big on taking ownership. So the first few years, yeah, I was doing quite a bit of it and working a ton of Saturdays and stuff, which is totally fine. That's what I signed up for. My guys, at the point I have now is, I'll say, well, I'll probably see you Saturday, and they're like, why? Totally confident in them, and I'm like, yeah, why? I'm a phone call away.
Right.
When I'm gone, I'm going on vacation next week, I will not worry about it. They know they can call that phone anytime they need. I'd rather solve it now. But anyway, so what I'm doing now is funerals. Yes, I'm checking on, but I will list, these guys will run these funerals. So they're out there more. I mean, they want to be part of it, whatever, and I thought, you know, it's time for me to let go of a little bit of that and just be more manager type. Now, not to say that I'm just sitting back doing nothing. I will come up on, well, today we had one, it ended up being an hour and a half. It was through the guy's lunch hour. He got him set. I took it over, sent him back to eat so he could eat and then come up and fill and stuff. But they like doing that. And two reasons is one, we have to be ready because we don't know if we're filling what we're doing, period. I mean, it's up to the family and their closure at the end. Well, I'm running the funeral and I got two guys back at the shop peeking out the window or sweeping a little bit. Why not let them be part of it? You know, type thing. And I can get some
Ownership.
other stuff.
Give them a little ownership, that's important.
Yeah, and they love, and
That's
that's what
important.
they're all about, and that's what I've been all around, because there was squabble, we had some, I call it dissension in the playpen sometimes, because they wondered why I didn't have a foreman. When I started, the city had made a foreman there. And when I came on, they said, you can keep him or not, like I'm gonna walk in and take it away from him. No, it's okay. When he moved on, I didn't, and the reason is because they work as a team, and I can get their raise up as a team. And that's what I want, because I cross-train. Every guy I have can do anything there. I've taught them to only have one guy that's still lacking a little bit of finishing concrete. They all work with me when we fix water lines. So I'm trying to teach as we go, and I can turn some of them loose. To prep that road, it sounds like nothing, prepping the road, tearing out, bringing in, leveling up. I turned it loose on two guys. They did a great job. They strung it like I did. We restrung, found out we needed. They were right there. What did we do wrong? Nothing. Had you do wrong, I had to take a couple loads out. So it's just teaching them too, and they love it. And if they want to learn, I'm all about that. That's
Sure.
what I'm about, is to do it. So,
It's important.
but thank you for that. I'll pass that on.
Yeah, I just feel like you should hear that, because it was just interesting to listen to them, and I didn't say what my connection was, I just wanted to hear what they had to say.
No, it is nice, because we don't make a product. We're not with the people at the best time of their life.
Yeah,
You know, so there's not a lot, but it's nice to hear, you know, that we are doing okay and it looks good.
We have a number of people, I know, I just talked to a lady last week, she says, oh, I love walking in the park, the cemetery, and she calls it a park, and I said, it is a park, you know?
yeah.
So-
Yeah, we call our family, we have walkers every day and people, and it's just, I mean, if they don't show up, we worry about them, because they're there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's same about the lady we were talking about earlier, she's part of us, I mean,
Sure.
the guys watch her and make sure, and they will. It's not a burden to them to make sure they don't approach her unless she approaches them, but, you know, it's,
It's a great place to ride bikes too.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or kids and grandkids.
Right.
You know,
It's a good place.
It's great.
Or race motorcycles.
Good place to learn how to drive.
Yep, we have a lot of that.
I know you have a lot of that.
We have a lot of that. And what's nice is some will call, and all I say is, you can go in the old section, but have your wallet on hand.
Be really careful.
Right.
And then the dad will go, why? I said, they're narrow roads. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
you gotta be
They
careful.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're okay, I mean, you're gonna hurt your car more than you're gonna hurt the
Yeah.
granite, but,
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyway, that's all I
Right.
have.
Anything else? Okay, next meeting is November 3rd then?
Isn't that crazy?
It's hard to believe we're saying November 3rd, so,
The summer
it's
flew.
gone fast,
Every
but,
12 more Sundays.
I have
till
these pictures if you wanna see them too.
So-
I'll get them to you here in just a
so,
second, okay?
thank you, all right.
We're all
Okay,
good?
On that, meeting's adjourned then.
All right, very good.